Okay.
Let
me see here.
No. So that was the extra mic. Apparently that gets the feedback.
Let me see here.
If I'm talking too loud or not loud enough, just let me know. Difficult.
Okay, somebody. Okay, do you have a microphone, Data?
Yes, I should. You should be able to hear me.
Okay. No, I'm talking about like. No, we're just trying to get more clear audio.
How's about this one?
Yeah, that one's much better.
Good. I might have to tune the volume a little bit because I'm catching up a beep there. Just a moment.
Okay.
So
Okay. If okay, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the next community update here.
Okay.
First of all, guys, if you're joining us live on the YouTube, thanks for joining us. And on the YouTube channel, I have it posted on the altcoin announcement in Bitcoin Talk, and then we also have it posted in the next forum.org.
I'm sorry, but the YouTube is still not working.
Okay.
Before you do the whole thing, it's still on private for me.
Here, click on this link right here, because it's broadcasting on my end.
No, it gives private.
Can you refresh it?
Yeah. Still not.
Okay. Let me see here. Could you test out that link to David and Data to make sure that it's private or it's working? Because on my end it shows that it's working.
The streaming video?
It's private.
Yeah, on YouTube?
Probably. Oh, sorry.
It's private. I don't get it at all. What the
fuck? Okay. Can you guys try it now?
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it works.
Good.
The streaming video
is private.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Works for me.
Okay, so it's all working now?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Could you guys test the comments? Okay, what happens is when you guys have the YouTube live stream on, please mute the speaker on it so that it doesn't get feedback into the system.
I don't have the live stream on.
Okay.
It doesn't work in Germany.
Okay. And then also, if can one of you guys test the comments on each side? I don't know if it's on the bottom or the right. On my screen, it shows that it's on the right.
I just left 2 comments. Can you see that?
Okay. All right. So if you're joining us live, okay, let's go ahead and get started all over again then.
Yes.
All right. If you're joining us live on the YouTube broadcast and you want to leave a question for the next community, please leave it in the comment section. There's like a limit of 200 characters, and post it, and then we'll read it out from there, and then I'll ask the guests that we have today. The comments on each side.
Sorry.
I don't know if okay, somebody has it on, and we're getting feedback. Yeah, Bass, I see your comments and your questions, so
Good.
They are working. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Today we have Data with us, and he is going to update us. I think he's broadcasting from Germany, and I'm broadcasting from Dallas, Texas. Um, and Data's joining us today to update us on a few things that's going on with the next clones. All these people that are cloning the next source code, and he's going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of that, and a few other things going on behind the scenes with Next.
Yes, exactly.
So welcome and thanks for joining us today, Data.
Okay. What I have to say in that respect is my personal opinion, so just something to think about.
Hey, before you share your opinion, could you just talk a little bit about your role in the Next development and the Next community?
Okay. I'm a member of the Tech Development Funding Committee, and in that role I have been trying together with the other guys to find some Java developers to help out Jean-Luc with the Next core development. And apart from that, I'm also developing a client around the Python Qt implementation of the Next API, using Qt and facilities to implement shop backends and various applications on top of the blockchain with a Qt GUI on top of it.
Okay. Hey, could you pause for a moment? We're getting some feedback from someone. There's like an echo or feedback.
Don't know.
Okay.
I'm using a microphone and a small earplug. That is unlikely.
Okay.
I hear no feedback.
Okay. All right.
It's maybe a loop in the Google software. Skype does that all the time.
Okay. Okay. So you are one of the people that's on the tech development community for Next, and
Yes.
just so that we have any new viewers, that's a committee made of 5 people that determines where the funds go to get into the Next development. Is that correct?
It's almost correct. Currently, we are only 4 people, and we are on the lookout for a replacement so that we can operate with 5 guys again.
Okay. Okay. All right. And you wanted to share with us on what's going on about the Java developers and the clones again?
Yes. It apparently is not that easy to find Java developers to help out on the Next core, because Bas also made a good point there. The competent Java developers which are around the Next community are already more or less involved, and Java developers from outside of our community know nothing about Next, and often it turns out that they are also very expensive, and they really don't care if they are working for Next or something else. We experience rather high expectations in price, which is usually around 500 euros per day, and that's of course quite a lot. So we have rather limited resources there, and in that respect we are in negotiations with 3 guys which are more or less connected to the Next community. One of which could start in July, who would be the most likely candidate, and 2 others who may be able to join a little bit earlier. But also in terms of the salaries, we are not very clear yet what we can offer and what they should be able to expect. So this is a rather difficult process as it turns out. But we are making small steps ahead, really.
Okay. If there is someone that's watching this broadcast now, or a recording of this broadcast, and they would like to join the Next community and help with the development, where is the best place to go and contact you, or where's the best place for them to go to find more information?
That would be the subforum of the Tech Dev Committee on the Next forum. Just drop a line and or a PM, whatever.
Okay. All right. Nextforum.org, and under the Tech Committee, just leave a reply or send you a private message.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else that's going on behind the scenes in the tech development process?
Yeah.
Well, can you talk about where you guys are currently at right now, and what you guys are working on, and what you hope to get done in the time frame?
We are trying to prioritize the feature list which is supposed to be implemented. And in that respect, we mostly have to rely on Jean-Luc, who is trying to stabilize the current functionality and then slowly extend the functionality in the NRS core. Because there have been a lot of features added to the wish list, which are very nice and very promising, but in terms of development work and time which still have to go into them, are rather further down the timeline. And the bread and butter stuff has to go first, which is basically what Jean-Luc is momentarily doing, trying to stabilize the thing, namely the asset exchange, which we are testing at the moment.
Okay, and Jean-Luc is the main developer, the main core developer for anybody that is new to the Next community.
Yes. Also, another important aspect, of course, was the changeover to the NQT, the Next Quant, which was a huge step, really, and also very important in respect of perspective for the future development of Next, because that was a major architectural change. And also the phasing in has to be done carefully in order not to break the current Next accounts, of course, because one Next is still supposed to be one Next in the future, only with a subdivision of 10 million Next Quant. And this was a major architectural change which Jean-Luc has implemented.
Okay, and
basically that's, yeah.
But for the non-technical people like myself and the other users of the Next client in the system,
Yeah.
could you explain that, like, in non-technical terms, how that will benefit the user?
The fractionalization of one currency unit, one Next, now becomes possible. In the beginning of Next, we had 1 billion Next, which is 1,000 million, and that was the smallest unit. So you could hand over one Next and nothing less than one Next. Now we have a subdivision of one Next into 10 million Quant, which is basically the same as the subdivision of Bitcoin into 10 million Satoshi, or $1 into 100 cents.
Okay. So basically,
so it makes possible to make smaller payments.
Okay, so basically, Jean-Luc is adding the 8 decimal places to the Next coin, the currency itself.
Yes.
Okay. Was there any reason why it was not added in the very beginning?
I don't know.
It was not included?
I don't know.
Does anyone know? I know that you're here joining us, Wesley, the creator of the Wesley client. Do you know why it was not implemented from the very beginning, like with Bitcoin? Okay, no idea.
I guess the only one who knows would be BC Next.
Okay. All right. Ask BC Next. Okay. All right, we have Mr. 131890 join us on YouTube. So he said hi to everyone. So I'm not sure what his if he's a new user or display name, but thanks for joining us anyway. Okay, what else is going on in the? So once he gets the decimal places added to the Next coin, what's next?
The decimal places are already added in the experimental versions on the testnet. And the phasing over into the mainnet will be done with great care. So there is a lot of testing going on. What else is new at the moment is that the asset exchange is being tested very thoroughly in order to release that as the next step. Because also we would be hoping to have it running at the Amsterdam conference. And then the prioritization of the feature list with the rest of the features, that's not clear yet. So Jean-Luc is spending most of his time coding and doing the important things first, and I guess he simply does not have had the luxury of being able to choose which one to implement next. But the important ones, which have been pending for quite some time, are the ones which he has done now.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
next week I can give another update.
All right. Did you have anything else behind the scenes about the tech development? What is the difference between the tech development committee and the infrastructure development committee?
Infrastructure would be rather concerned with clients and with servers and with providing facilities for nodes. And the tech development would be everything which relates to the core software, the NRS core, the Java core of the next platform.
Okay, so the tech committee handles basically the software side, and the infrastructure handles the hardware side. Is that what it is?
Yeah, infrastructure would also handle a lot of software, but not related to the NRS core.
Okay.
But rather to the to the network and the clients and things like that.
Okay. Okay. So basically, the tech committee handles what the end user actually uses.
That would be the infrastructure. Yes.
Okay.
That would be what the infrastructure handles, what the end user handles.
Okay.
Which is also why. Yeah, well, it's a gradual transition. Wesley's client is in the tech dev committee, and the funding will be from that. So it is something which the end user sees, but it will be part of the core distribution of Next.
Okay. Okay.
So
well,
quote unquote official.
That's all the questions I have for you regarding the tech side, unless someone else has any questions for you. Anything from you, Bass, or David, or even Wesley?
I can ask which date is the asset exchange currently aimed for? Because I was speaking with James and he said something like 2 weeks.
It's no fixed date yet. So,
okay, so
yeah.
It's about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, around there.
It's not possible to make a statement on that.
Well, what are some of the sticking points right now that the asset exchange is running into? Not enough, besides not enough coders. Is it a security issue, or is it a?
There were a few minor bugs. But Jean-Luc has been correcting them incrementally, as a couple of testers have identified them.
Okay. You guys have any other questions for Data about the tech side? No.
No.
Okay. You wanted to talk about the clones, the next clones.
Yes. I was going to make a small comment about that, sometimes I realize that people seem to be afraid that a clone of Next steal our pie, so to speak, might steal the show of Next and become the big thing because maybe Next would be too slow. But I think there is really no reason to be afraid of clones because as the software is out and open source, everybody can take the software and create a clone by a click of a button. But the rather more challenging problem is getting together a coherent community, getting together the users and the talent. And this is something which is far more difficult than just copy-pasting a coin, yet another coin. And in that respect, it will be interesting to see if the clones that already exist of Next have success or fail, and if they fail, well, then it's going to be all right. Some things can even be learned from how and why they failed, and if they don't fail, then things can be learned from the things they did make right. So there is absolutely no need at all to be afraid of clones. It's just rather interesting to observe these developments unfold.
I'm personally not afraid of clones. I just think that it's just a waste of time. But personally, from a marketing perspective, because what happens is it dilutes the talent and the people that can be working on it to make it a success. And I agree with you that um, that it's easy to copy and paste it, but can you build the community around it? And I think that instead of one person, because I noticed that each of the Next clones that I looked at like 2 or 3 of them,
Yeah.
and I noticed that they always have a complaint about a specific feature that is missing from the current Next source, the Next platform, the original
Yeah.
Next platform. And so they're going out to clone it so that they can fix that feature set or something like that. And I think that's just a waste of time. And I personally, and this is just a personal opinion of mine only, and this does not represent the Next community, is that talent needs to, it would be better off if they cooperate with the current, the original Next and develop that instead of branching off just so they can add a specific feature to it.
Yes, I think so too. But on the other hand, these people have to make that experience by themselves. It's better than if they stay in the community and cause distraction or frictions or whatever, or
Okay.
frictionless.
Yeah. And just and this is a message. This is a personal message of mine for all the people out there that's cloning the Next platform. Is that if you're not able to work together with other developers, and there's friction, the chances are when you build your clone, you're going to have to learn how to work with other people too. In order for a project like Next to scale up, we all have to learn to work with each other if we want it to succeed and get wide stream adoption. Okay, you can't be upset with one person and then run out and clone your own thing, because then what happens when you run into other developers and other people in the community, in the clone community? What are you going to do then? Run off and clone another coin?
I'd like to answer this one too, by the way, Ty, because not all the people do this for this reason. A lot of people just want. There are a lot of people in these communities who just want to build their own thing, just because they like to build their own thing. And one of the reasons why I'm not afraid of this is it's not always diluting. It's always it's also casting the net wide, because some of these projects can also attract new people who then don't necessarily stay in that community, but decide, okay, I've tried this, this is not what I want, maybe I could try to work with a code that I already know and stream on to Next. So for me, it's not clear-cut that it's a bad thing. It's also, there's a lot of creativity in it, not all clones, of course, but there are also a few clones that are doing, or at least trying, new things, and are not necessarily a bad thing, always. I feel I would be doing them a disservice if I would agree with that. I see a lot of people trying to sometimes just have fun with something new or try it out and don't feel they fit in with the Next community without actually having been part of it. It's not always a negative thing.
Yeah.
And it's inherent in the system. It is what will happen. The source is it is open source, so people will clone. Nothing we can do about it.
Okay. Okay. Anything you want to add to that, David? Or
I agree with most of it. I think the initial reasons for clones were distribution, but we can't do anything about it, like Baz said, and there's no point in dwelling on it.
Okay. Anything else?
I just personally don't think that most of the clones will be successful. When you look at the communities of most of these clones, they are non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just so for new, I'm just talking. My opinion is just from an investor's perspective and from a marketing perspective. If you're looking to invest into a Next clone, just to me, it's just a waste of time. When when you have a bunch of guys that are just promising software when in the next community, the original next, they're actually working on it. So just be careful about that if you're a new user and you're watching this broadcast. And so just want to throw that out there. Is there anything else that you want to add about the clones, Data?
It's about two things. As you mentioned this word as an investor, it's about speculation value of the price of a coin increasing, but the rather more sustainable thing is the utility value that people can have from it. And without utility value, which means something useful that people can do with it, it's bound to collapse even if it's going to spike and bubble a little bit, like so many of the other Litecoin clones. So this is something which has to be kept in mind, that there's always two types of value to everything. One is the speculation value, and the other thing, and the far more profound thing, is the utility value. And this is something only a decent development can provide, and not a copy-paste clone, which is also to be kept in mind.
Okay. Well, that's just my thoughts on the clones. I have no other questions about the clones. Is there anything else that you want to update the next community on?
Not right now. Maybe next week.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for letting us know all that and updating the community with that. Is there anything that you wanted to share with us, Bass or David?
Basically, I'm just going to say quickly that if anyone wants to help out with NXT.org, just send me a PM or a mail, because we still need content creators for the website, but we are developing it now and we have got some initial funding. So hopefully it'll be done, or at least ready for launch pretty soon.
Okay. I noticed that right now it's redirecting to nextcrypto.org.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, we just.
Okay. And once next.org is online, what will happen to nextcrypto.org?
Well, it depends on Beth. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I can offer a bit about that. We've been thinking about it, what to do, and Next.org is working very well, and it promises to be a real entry site to Next. That's what they correct me if I'm wrong, David, but I think that was or still is the plan, and that's very good. But it doesn't make sense to have more than one entry site. That causes dilution. So nextcrypto.org is planning to be a site that will connect people. For instance, for what the technical committee now wants, they are looking for developers. It will offer the feature to connect people. People can enter their details, can ask for jobs, can look for jobs. We can look for jobs. It's also a place where we are planning to do much more content development, but where people can become editors. It's going to be more advanced and more collaborative in that way. We're still fleshing it out, but the idea is at least to get out of the way of Next.org, so we don't do the same thing 2 times over when other persons can do the same thing. So if people want to contribute, that's good, but let's first point them in the direction of Next.org, because they are providing a service that's really important, making it easy for people to connect to a Next, and when people are more advanced and have other ideas, they can come to us. But we will update the community once that is ready.
I have a question for you and for David regarding the Next.org site. Since the goal is to make that the main gateway into the next platform, the community, and the development of Next, there are other people who have their own quote-unquote Next websites. Now, what is their what what is the benefit or what is the incentive for them to come and create content on the next.org versus their own site? My personal opinion is that we need to have one strong front-facing site so that new people to Next can use it. Mm-hmm. So it's, from a marketing perspective, it's very easy for me to see the need for the Next.org site as the main gateway into the Next platform and community. But for people who have their own Next websites, what could you say to them, David?
Well, I'm continuously trying to reach out to anyone who has any experience with developing websites because I don't want to create any competition. I'm not trying to squeeze anyone out or make anyone feel excluded. So anyone who wants to join us, make NXT.org the best that it can be, can just contact me. And I think anyone who is involved in Next will benefit from having one website that is the definitive website that you point people to as an entry level. And I think that once Next starts blossoming again and starts growing, I think there is room for several different types of websites. I think you can make a lot of sub-websites. For instance, Mario here on the chat is saying that I think he said that he is the guy from mynext.org. And I have reached out to him, and he seems interested in at least talking about some sort of potential collaboration. So, I just don't think it'll be a problem. I think that once the community grows bigger, that there will be room for more websites. But of course, every website has to find their place. For instance, like Bas just mentioned, nextcrypto.org is going to be a more advanced website for people who has been in the community for a while or has different. It's not just trying to learn about Next and what is going on right now, but is potentially trying to find a job or help out or develop or such things. So I just think that there are room for several websites as the community grows.
Okay. Do you have a microphone, Mario? Okay. No.
There's one other reason, very good reason, I think, why people should consider working together, is everybody who writes or provides content wants to be seen, and anyone who has maintained a website knows how much time it takes to do it well and to be seen. If you collaborate, you can join those powers and actually push yourself a lot higher and know that your content will be seen and used. That would be, for me, if I would contribute, one of the main reasons. If you have 20 sites and they all get 10, 20 visitors a day, or your content is on one site that gets thousands because it can actually create that amount of traffic, then I would know where I would want to collaborate. The only other way to do that is to find a really strong niche for yourself to be able to attract that special group. So either you join powers and and manage to be seen by a lot of people, or you create a niche that is so recognizable and has such a strong audience that you get seen on your own merits. That would be basically my main incentive to join powers.
Okay. I agree with what you're saying, Bas, and what you're saying, David, is that, and Mario also, is that collaboration is the key to success there. Simply because Next.org is a much easier and easily recognized and understandable domain name versus some of the other ones that we have in the Next community. And I think that if someone has their own Next website already, I would invite them to go to the next.org and create some articles and content, and then link back to their other site, like Bass said, to show that they have a specialty in that area. Like we have Mario joining us with no audio today, and he talks about he's specializing in the web wallets. Is that correct, Mario? For mynext.info? No?
Next client. You have Next client, don't you, Mario? Okay.
Okay. The Block Explorer. Okay. Well, I think that's the collaboration is the key to scaling up and to having success with Nets. So that's just my thoughts on that.
Exactly.
Did you want to say something else to David?
No, I'm in complete agreement. I think that at this point, collaboration is the key. I don't think we can afford to squeeze each other out. I don't see any reason for that at all. I just see that we need to collaborate to make sure that we have at least one or two very good websites that is reliable, continuously updated, and yeah, so that people recognize. So when you go to a conference, you can say just go to next.org. It is so easy. People won't even need a link. You can just say next.org and people will instantly remember it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Okay. We're coming to the end of the hour here, guys. Is there anything else that any of you guys want to update the community with?
I would like at least to update the fact that we've been working on it for quite a long time, but by the end of the week we should have the first open source modules ready for shops, for e-commerce platforms, and this will be totally without any third party. So people should be able to implement Next payments very easily on their WordPress at first, and moving on to the other platforms like Magento, PrestaShop, etc., Drupal.
Okay. So, and who is working on the merchant side of that? Is that the tech community, or who is developing that?
1.5 months ago, I attracted a developer by myself for that, and he's not known within the community, but the code will be able. Everybody can check the code. It's completely open source. So if they want to shoot holes in it, go ahead.
Okay. And if someone wants to test it and help you guys test it on their websites. Like I have a WordPress website, and if I want to test it on there, who do I need to contact, or who do we need to contact?
That would be me, Damelan, on the forums. At the end of the week, I'm going to post it on the forums, and then I will ask people to start working. I'm testing it myself with him at the moment. At the end of the week, I'm hoping to go live with it to show people what it is. Then they can test it. Do bug reports, and then we can perfect it. Mm-hmm. And after that, we're going to build for all the other platforms, or people can actually join in and help build them. But I wanted to present the finished product first to show, okay, this is done already, and now people can join.
Okay. All right. Well, we're coming to the end of the hour here, and I'd like to make this the first Next community update that actually finishes on time within the hour, even though we started a few minutes late. Is there any last words that you have to you want to add to the community, Wesley? If not, then I know you haven't spoken up, but if you don't have anything to add, then I'm going to go ahead and end the update here. And by the way, thanks for bringing Timothy Swanson on last week, David. I got lots of messages from people in comments thanking him about the blockchain 2.0 that he talked about.
Yeah, he's a great resource.
Yeah,
he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, and I found out he grew up right down the street from me here in
Dallas.
Yeah,
he actually asked me if I had your email.
Yeah. So we've been in touch, so appreciate that, and appreciate you bringing him on to so that he can share his knowledge with the next community. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up, and thanks for joining us, and I'll see you guys next week on the next update.
See you next week.
All right.